Morning. Sir. Morning. Bro. You might want to like, but no, I can understand so many things. So,
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And to our ladies, happy International Women's Day to you. And we welcome you to the launch of this significant program, the launch of the Newborn Cash Grant under the theme Celebrating Women, Supporting New Beginnings. I invite us all, before we begin the official program, to stand for prayer, and which will be followed by the reciting of the National Pledge. We'll be led in prayer by three major religious faiths: the Christian, Hindu, and Muslim. Could the pastor, I believe Reverend Michael Govaya, could you please come forward for the Christian?
Thank you. Shall we pray? Our gracious and loving God, we thank you today for the opportunity you have given us to gather in this place, to mark and recognize the contribution of women to our country and across the world. We thank you this morning for this very special program that is being launched today, the newborn cash grant launch. We thank you for our president and his cabinet. Thank you for giving them the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to bless our women today and our children in this fashion. I pray you continue, Lord, to use them in a marked special way. We pray today for every woman in this room and those across Guyana and across the world. As we celebrate and honor them today, I pray for a special blessing upon their lives. Lord, heal those who are sick in their bodies. Provide peace for those who are troubled. Bring justice for those who have been wronged, and prosperity to every woman, and by extension, O Lord, the family that they lead. We pray for those women in leadership in our country, and we pray that you continue to bless them. Grant them the will to continue to lead and to set an example to the rest of the world. We pray, God, that today you will bless our children in this room. Every child, every woman that is eligible for this cash grant, that, Lord, you will make a way for them to get it without confusion, without anyone trying to mislead them. We pray, God, that you will do a mighty work. Let this be used to help them with their babies in the first month of their delivery. And so we thank you now. Bless these proceedings today. We ask, oh God, that you will continue to protect our country. We know that you will fight for us. And so, Father, we pray that the enemies that come against us, that you, oh God, will fight for us. Give us justice. Give us freedom, that we will continue to live in peace and harmony in this beautiful country of Guyana. In Jesus' most powerful name we pray. And everybody say amen. God bless you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. O Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, we ask you to bless this cash grant initiative for the newborns. Cause it to be a source of ease and provision for our families and a means for the newborns. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruk wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.
Namaste. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. May all living beings find happiness. May all be without illness. May all experience good things in their lives. May no one experience dissatisfaction, pain, or sorrow. Akhila Koti Brahmanandayak Satchidananda Bhagavan. May you remove all obstacles from the launching and implementation of this newborn cash grant. O Bhagwan, may you bless His Excellency President Irfan Ali, his ministers and government for this initiative. And by your mercy and grace, you continue to inspire them to serve this great nation of ours. May there be peace in the multiverse. May there be peace in our community, and may peace be within. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om.
Thank you very much to our religious leaders. You may all take your seats. Thank you very much. Now that our proceedings have been appropriately blessed, we can go ahead and thank you. I am Onej Walron, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. And Mr. President, as I was hearing the lovely music of the children crying, I'm saying it is so appropriate that we are hearing so many babies exercising their lungs. It means that indeed the future of Guyana is bright, that we have tenacious babies amongst us. So don't be distracted by the babies crying. We welcome this song, that it is indeed music to our ears. Help me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, our Ministers of Health, Dr. Frank Antley, Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vinday Prasad, members of Parliament present here, regional officials, other cabinet colleagues, former Minister of Government, Indrani Chandapal, senior government officials. I see the CEO of the Georgetown Hospital here, health officials, our mothers, specifically special invitees, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, welcome to the launch of this landmark initiative under the theme Celebrating Women, Supporting New Beginnings. Last year alone, 15,000 babies were born in Guyana, 14,742 to be exact. And based on current projections, we anticipate an additional 2,000 in 2025, bringing the total to 17,000 babies. So this is a particularly impactful and important initiative. We celebrate with you as our government. The birth of a child is one that brings immense joy for mothers and families. It marks the culmination of a journey, 9 months, oftentimes, filled with care, anticipation, at times uncertainty, but no doubt when your newborn there has arrived, this journey transforms into one of love and boundless possibilities. The People's Progressive Party government, as outlined in our budget 2025, has introduced this newborn cash grant of $100,000 for each newborn. This is every Guyanese parent who shall receive this. This initiative does not stand on its own. It complements the national cash grant for citizens over 18 years old, and it's part of a broader suite of measures aimed at improving the well-being of all Guyanese. Notably, there are no restrictions on eligibility. So outside of the mother being Guyanese and the child being born in Guyana, the grant is accessible to every newborn in every region of our country, without limitations on the number of times a family can benefit. So in other words, you are free to give birth in as many times as you wish, and you will get a grant each time. I hear snickers from the mothers. It's like, oh, not me again. So feel free. We will support you. So today marks the commencement of the distribution of the first set of thousands of grants expected to be issued in this year, 2025. And the newborn cash grant is available retroactively. So it's for every child that is born on or after January 1st, 2025. At the level of government, we envision these grants as a means to enhance the lives of our citizens. We also recognize that many mothers give birth under challenging financial and physical circumstances. This grant, therefore, should not be viewed as simply financial assistance, but as a crucial stepping stone towards a positive and secure beginning for every child born in Guyana. Before I invite my colleague who is speaking next, Dr. Minister of Human Services and Social Protection, let me at the outset say to you that this is not a because we have all now initiative. The philosophy of the People's Progressive Party and therefore the government that it has formed is one where we look after the citizens of our country. The philosophy and the ethos of our government is that every citizen of our country must benefit. Your welfare, well-being, therefore the grounding and the foundational objectives of all of our policies. So this initiative, and as I mentioned, it's among of a suite of initiatives that we have seen, is just an indication of the care that we have for our citizens. And long before oil was discovered, this People's Progressive Party Civic had instituted the Because We Care Cash Grant. And that's just one initiative that was geared towards helping and supporting our people, our citizens, your children, to bring relief in whatever measure we can. And we didn't have oil then. Way before 2015, we had instituted it Because We Care Cash Grant. And we all know the story. We did it because we are always looking out for you. We are always looking out for our children and for the future of our citizens. The previous administration, when they came into power, the first thing they did, apart from raising their own salaries by 50%, they took away that Because We Care Cash Grant. At that time, it was $10,000. I am saying this to say that you will hear that this is old. You know, we are entitled to this and you are, because there is oil and that we have demonstrated as a government an ethos and a care and a mindset that regardless of how much money and fiscal space we have, we want to make sure that our citizens benefit. And so the Because We Care Cash Grant is just one example of that. And so they took that $10,000 away, and we have come back into government and reinstituted it. And each one of you, I'm sure, have had a child that has benefited from that grant. And this year, it's going to be $50,000 per child. And the idea is that as resources come to our country, as we prosper as a nation, it's never going to be that we bring the benefit for ourselves as government alone, but to make sure that that benefit inures to every single citizen, for every single child. And so the cash grant, this cash grant, is just one demonstration of an ethos and a philosophy of a government that cares for you, that is looking after the future of our families and our children. And what better way to bestow and to acknowledge the future of our family, of our country, by supporting you as you raise your children. On that note, it's my pleasure to invite my colleague, the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindaya Prasad, to share her remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Prasad.
Thank you very much. Excellency of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Muhammad Irfan Ali, Cabinet colleagues, Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Tourism, Onej Waldron, Members of Parliament, Head of the Women and Gender Equality Commission, and former Member of the Cabinet, Mrs. Indrani Chandrapal, CEO of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, distinguished representatives from various institutions and agencies, my fellow doctors in the House, and parents, caregivers, grandparents, and most importantly, the little ones who are here with us this morning. Good morning to all of you, and I join Onej in welcoming you to this initiative that will be launched and touch lives across the length and breadth of Guyana, our newborn cash grant as we support new beginnings. As I looked at you coming in, I saw so many things. I saw fathers bringing in babies, I saw grandmothers bringing in babies, and I saw mothers proudly holding their babies. And it spoke of the new beginnings that we are supporting across this country of ours. Today is International Women's Day, and I would like to extend greetings to all women, the women whose shoulders we stand on today, who have done remarkable work to ensure that our rights, our move towards gender equality and parity, and our consistent efforts towards empowering all women are achieved in the shortest possible time. I remember them, I honor them, I salute all of them, and to all the women of today who continue to make progressive strides in every sphere of our country and who contribute tirelessly to the many things that are necessary for the turning of the wheels of our country. I pay tribute to you also. I say keep on going. We still have a lot of work to do. And importantly, to all the mothers here and who are not here, but today we are celebrating you because I've seen those pictures where you see a woman with many, many hands. I celebrate the multitasking that you do every day and the tenacious efforts that you have never spared for yourselves, your children, your family, and your country. And with all of this in mind, I say happy, happy International Women's Day to all of you. Do you know that these efforts were started in 1911? Efforts that spoke to the right to vote, the right to be heard, the right to education, things we take for granted now. And then 50 years ago, the United Nations observed International Women's Day, which is now decreed as March 8th. Today, we are saying that we need to accelerate the actions started because we are still trying to achieve gender equality and gender parity in our world. And today we also look at the theme that speaks to walking forward for women and girls. And we also speak of three key things: empowerment, equality, and rights. And for us to have all of this happen, we must be collective, strategic in our efforts, but most importantly, consistent in our efforts. Today we are here for a very significant cash grant that focuses on the newest addition to our Guyanese family, the newest, most welcome, most loved addition to our Guyanese family. And this family stretches from regions 1 to 10. And those of you who are here and you're holding these little lights that are going to be such big lights in the future, I say to you, care them, love them, nurture them, encourage them, because we plan to do that every step of the way through our government. In fact, this initiative was something in the People's Progressive Party Civics Manifesto, where we wanted to contribute to children at every stage of their life. So it's a direct investment to a child coming into the world, paying attention to the challenges that mommies have. You know, there's something called mommy pressure. Mommy pressure is a real thing. It starts when you first know you're getting a little one, and you have to stay healthy, and you have to take care of yourselves. It starts with planning for that little one, and so the government of Guyana wants to be part of that planning and that investment in that little one. And that's why we are supporting New Beginnings through this newborn cash grant. There are many more mommy challenges. Should I breastfeed? We hope you do, because it's something that is encouraged for all mothers. But if you can't breastfeed, nothing is wrong with the bottle. But then you have to make another decision, which formula is right for you. And then I hope the daddies will be supportive and wake up in the night and do the change of the Pampers for the number 2. You know, sometimes they leave the number 2 for the moms and they don't want to change Pampers, but they want to play with a very clean and happy baby. So in the evenings, I hope the daddies wake up too and help when baby wakes up as well. And I just mentioned a couple of the challenges, but there are many more. The cost of having a child, the cost for food, the cost for Pampers, the cost for things that you need. And that is what our government paid attention to when this $100,000 cash grant was conceived, and it will be rolled out, and it will be rolled out all year round, so that whenever a baby is born, that baby knows that It's coming into the world, and this government, with a lot of care and concern, will be providing this $100,000 cash grant to get you started, to get you on your feet, and to help and support in a tangible way. I also believe that our government looks at children as priceless assets for this nation, because we are looking at children from the moment of birth through this cash grant. We're looking at children when they are going to school through the Because We Care cash grant. We are looking at children and adults who have disabilities through the $35,000 cash grant. We're looking at children who are now becoming adults, and adults too, through the $100,000 cash grant that's happening across the country. And we continue to look at our citizens, understanding that at every stage they need our support. I want to say that the government of Guyana is always here for you, will always be here for you, and is listening with an ear to develop initiatives, programs, and projects that can cater to you in your hour of need. Because health, especially, is pivotal if we want to ensure that our country prospers. And so this is adding on to our healthcare voucher that will be rolled out this year. It is adding on to our spectacle vouchers that would have been rolled out last year. And we have so many in that suite of measures put in place by our government. But I know this morning, as we celebrate you, as we celebrate the babies among us, and we can hear those melodious cries, it could be hunger, it could be a pamper that needs changing, we are very pleased to have this very natural progression happen in the Arthur Chung Conference Center. Many times we are here for Parliament, but this is a different kind of Parliament. This is the baby Parliament here this morning, and the babies who might one day become the parliamentarians of the future. So, as you sit here this morning, know without a question that this government will continue to walk with you, as we walked with you as women who have incredible capacity, I would say limitless capacity, and have what it takes to continue to contribute to this country of ours. Women who have the support of the partner, women who are single, women who come with all kinds of issues, challenges, and also all kinds of progressive strides too. We say to you, we are here with you. And I would like to say a lot more, but I'm also conscious there are a lot of babies here, so I don't want to stand much longer and take away from the moment when you will have that cash grant in your hand, because 500 of you and more will be receiving that today. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's called instant delivery, immediate delivery, and I must congratulate the team from the Ministry of Health for the work done to ensure that this day arrived very soon, and also those who got their babies early in the year, you will also be able to get that cash grant. So with that being said, I would like to say how wonderful it is to have this happen on this significant day of International Women's Day, 50 years that would have been observed by United Nations. And since 1911, we are recognizing that when you invest in a woman, when you educate a woman, when you empower a woman, you empower an entire nation. Never forget, ladies, you are the first teachers of your children. Always remember that. You are the first influencers in your child's life, and you will remain the inspiration to them for the rest of their lives. So with a lot of love, a lot of blessings, and a lot of good wishes, I say celebrate you, celebrate how far you've become, and we celebrate our newest, littlest additions to this beautiful land of ours, Guyana. Happy, happy International Women's Day, and all the best as today we roll out the newborn cash grant and we support new beginnings. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Let me inform you that two announcements. We have a medic on site. If it is that you have any questions or you have any query about your newborn or the stage of the process, the medic is here available to give you advice. We also have, for those of you who would like to breastfeed in some place private, we have provided that facility downstairs for you. For those of you, you don't have to, but if you want to be in a private place. We have next on our program a nurse. You know, nurses are an incredible resource to us all. They are our medical professionals. They are our counselors, caregivers, and sources of support. They are deeply involved in our pre- and postnatal care. But today, we recognize another dimension of their incredible talents and disability is through music. And it gives me great pleasure to invite Nurse Alyssa Bryant to share her gift with us. Let us give her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to say a happy International Women's Day to each and every one of you lovely young ladies present here today. And may we all continue to shine, inspire, and break barriers. Do hope you enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Nurse Brian. Indeed, we all are super women every single day. The refreshments are also available for those of you who would like to have something to refresh yourself. I know you've been up very early with the babies, and so you don't have to worry about finding something after the program is over, even during the program. We have refreshments available right here on site for all of you. Childbirth is deeply connected to family and primary health care. From the moment a pregnancy is confirmed to tracking due dates, providing preventative care, monitoring maternal and fetal health, administering treatment, and facilitating delivery, health care remains a cornerstone of this life-changing journey. I'm incredibly proud to be part of a government that takes a strategic and proactive approach to healthcare development, continuously investing in facilities, services, and training to ensure the highest quality of care for all. To share more on these advancements, it is my pleasure to welcome the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, my colleagues in the Cabinet, Minister Waldron, Minister Prasad, the directors in the Ministry of Health, CEO of the Georgetown Hospital, Chairwoman of the Gender Inequality Commission, the PWR to Guyana, Dr. Kim Dickinson, mothers, and all the well-wishers who are here this morning. First of all, allow me to join with my colleagues in wishing all the women of Guyana a happy International Women's Day. Indeed, today is a day when we can celebrate all the achievements and accomplishments of our women, and you have been the ones who have been able to hold us as a family, as a society, and as a world together. So we want to celebrate your resilience and all that you have done for us throughout the years. Today, it's another very important day. And today, we're launching another new initiative under the People's Progressive Party civic government, and that is the cash grant for newborns. And it is not an accidental thing. It is something where the government has thought this out. because we want to ensure that every person in Guyana grow up to be strong and healthy. And one of the things that we have done over the last couple of years is to make strategic investments in our healthcare system so that we can make sure that our mothers are well taken care of. And I just want to give you some examples of that, because sometimes we take for granted these achievements. We have been able to put a lot of investments into our hospitals so that when someone is ready to give birth, they can go to a hospital where they would be able to do so in a safe manner. And we have seen the results of that, because over the years we have seen a decline in maternal mortality. And that's a good thing. We have also made some investments in the interior of our country, because previously mothers had to, when they go into labor, they had to travel all the way to get to the hospital. Sometimes that's a journey of 3 hours, 4 hours, and in many instances, they will give birth along the way to the hospital in non-hygienic conditions, which can lead to a lot of complications for both mother and baby. We have almost stopped that practice, because what we've been able to do now is to build homes in the compound of our hospitals in the different parts of our country, and we call them waiting homes. So before a mother go into labor, the mother can come there, wait until she goes into labor, and then she's transferred from that waiting home into the hospital where she can give safe birth. And we have seen in all the regions where we have implemented this that there have been a significant drop in maternal mortality. And we are very proud of that, and I want to congratulate and thank the staff who have been involved in doing this. In addition to this, we have started a program where we have been strengthening our primary health care, so that when a pregnant woman comes to our primary health care services, they can get all the tests that they need, and we can determine which pregnancies would be high risk and which would not be a high risk. And by doing that, we then would be able to pay the right amount of attention to each pregnancy so that that woman would be able to deliver her child safely. All of these have helped to enhance the services that we are able to deliver to our women folk during pregnancy. In addition to this, one of the other things that we have been doing, we recognize that from some pregnancy, babies can be born a little bit prematurely. And in the past, the only place where we had a neonatal unit was at the Georgetown Hospital. So if the baby is a little bit premature, they had to come down to Georgetown Hospital where they can get care. Now we have extended these services so that at all of our regional hospitals, we now have neonatal units, so babies that are a little bit premature can get those services right at their regional hospital. And this is important. It is important because we want to ensure that people are getting care closer to home. And while we have done this over the last couple of years, the future is even brighter, because this year we are going to be opening up 6 new hospitals. One in Essequibo at Lima, one at Dekendron, one at Diamond, one at Enmore, one at Bath, and one at number 75. And in each of these hospitals, there are modern birthing suites, there are operating theaters, there are all the latest diagnostic things that you need so that women can get better care than what we are giving right now. All of this would be available to you very, very soon. And in addition to this, while we are opening these hospitals, we have another set of hospitals that we have started constructing. And this includes a hospital at Maruka, one at Cato, one at Letem, and we're also working on a hospital for Bartica. We also recognize that sometimes there are some very specialized things that children would need or high-risk mothers would need. And so we are also constructing a modern specialty hospital at Ogle. And when that's completed, we'll be able to treat some of the most complicated types of challenges that mothers would have at that new hospital. So there are lots of good things in store. And in addition to all that I've said, we are also working on a New Amsterdam hospital. And recently the president has turned a sod for a new hospital at West Demerara. So when you look in the next year to the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have a transformed landscape where the health services that we'll be giving to our mothers would be totally transformed. So on this International Women's Day, I think there are lots to look forward to, lots of good things that are happening, and we are so proud that we are able to work with you so that we can give your newborns a good or a new beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anthony. We are assured by the strength of our healthcare system and inspired by the vision for its continued growth and development. Speaking of vision, we now have the honor of hearing from the driving force behind this transformation $1.3 billion initiative, a leader who truly carries the heart of the people in his own, a man dedicated to finding innovative ways to improve lives, uplift communities, and bring meaningful relief to our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I invite you to rise and give a warm welcome to the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali.
Thank you very much. Please have your seat, our beautiful mothers. Such a joy and blessing from the Lord to have all of you here today with your beautiful babies. And this is indeed, we are taught that children are a heritage from the Lord. And we are also taught that peace be upon these babies the day they were born. So today is a remarkable day when we celebrate you, the wonderful mothers of our country, the wonderful mothers of our country who play that significant and important role in ensuring the continuation of citizenry, the continuation of generations, and the continuation of a nationality called the Guyanese people. It is this process that keeps this journey alive long into the future, and we should put our hands together for you, all the mothers of our beautiful country. When you look at bringing a new child into the world, a new baby into the world, it is not only about the joy of the parents and the family and the grandparents and the community. It is about renewal, renewal of hope, renewal of citizenry, renewal of the fact that we know we are building a next generation of Guyanese who will inherit this land. And that sometimes is a message that gets lost. The birth of a child and a newborn baby is beyond the parents. It is beyond the family. It is beyond the community. It is a national heritage, a new national asset. And we must take care of that asset. And that is what we are demonstrating. Our love, our commitment to ensuring that we take care of this important asset. Therefore, today marks a historic moment, not just for our government, but for every family, every community, and every child, who will call this nation home. Very importantly, who will call this nation home. We stand here to launch an initiative that speaks to the very soul of who we are. A society that refuses to let potential go untapped, dreams go unfulfilled, or children go unsupported. Every child born in Guyana is not just a citizen, they are a vital thread in the fabric of our nation's story. They are shared treasure entrusted to our collective care. Yes, to our collective care. The pressure of a newborn should not be that of their parents, but this is a collective responsibility and a collective care that we must demonstrate as a nation and as a people. When a Guyanese child takes their first breath, they belong to all of us, to our communities, our values, and our shared destiny. With that belonging comes a sacred obligation to ensure that child's future is not left to chance, but nurtured with intention. And that is key. Every single baby that comes into our country, that comes into the arms of the mother and father, immediately we make a very silent intention. That is to care and to do the best we can do for that child. To give the child the beauty and bounties and future we never had for ourselves. And in making that intention, we make that silent pledge of sacrifice, of commitment, of honor. But how about when we do that together, collectively, as a country? How about when we come together and do this together? What a beautiful society and country and future we will be building for all of our babies and children. And that is the continuation that I speak of when we speak about the policies of the government. Making this intention today that we are going to give a further help, a further support to these babies in the journey of continuity, in the journey of continuing to do the best we can do throughout the life cycle of these babies who will grow into adult one day. But let us also not forget that children are not just our future, they are our now. Every newborn represents a promise, a blank page waiting to be written. But a child's potential cannot flourish without nourishment. This cash grant is more than a financial support. It is a seed planted in the soil of our nation's future. When we invest in our children today, we invest in the scientists, teachers, artists, leaders, farmers. We invest in the future of tomorrow. A generation nurtured is a generation that will build and sustain the world we leave behind. As such, this cash grant must be seen not as a cost on the country treasury, but as a deposit into our children's future. It is a down payment on their ability to contribute meaningfully to our society. By providing this support, we are not merely spending resources. We are planting seeds for a future where every child has the tools to grow, succeed, and lead. This is not a burden on today's taxpayers. It is a commitment to tomorrow's leaders and nation builders. Let us refrain from considering this as an expense or a burden. It is an investment in a brighter, more prosperous Guyana for generations to come. Let me also be clear on another point. This grant is not a privilege. It is a right. From the moment a child takes their first breath, they're entitled to this support, regardless of their parents' income, background, or circumstances. Equality begins at birth, and this initiative ensures that every child, without exception, receives the support we are offering. This support is for every single child. And we are setting up a mechanism today. You will go orderly in alphabetical order to uplift your checks. But we have set up a mechanism that within 1 week of birth, every single mother will receive that check, and they will receive that check before they leave the hospital. That is the system we are putting in place. And some may ask, what about those who do not deliver in the hospital? 99% of all our deliveries, less than 1% of our deliveries today are outside of a hospital. So more than 99% of our deliveries are in a hospital setting. So the regional health officers, the regional system, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Finance will put things in place to ensure that all the children will receive, the mothers will receive this within the first week of birth, and more specifically, they will aim to give you before you leave the hospital. So far, between January and February of this year, we have had 2,052 births across our country. Out of this 2,052 births, we have had 77 in Region 1, 132 in Region 2, 200 in Region 3, Georgetown Hospital, 712, remaining areas in Region 4, 30, Region 5, 26, Region 6, 215, Region 7, 28, Region 8, 29, Region 9, 147, and Region 10, 85. And in the private facilities, we have had 371 births. Put our hands together for all these newborns in our society. Today is also the story of empowerment. Bringing a new life into the world is one of the most profound joys a parent can experience. It is a moment filled with hope, love, and endless possibilities. Yet, as experience teaches us, the joy often comes with the weight of new responsibilities and expenses, from diapers and formula to health care and child care. On this note, let me pause to say that the First Lady has asked me to let all of you know that she is also sending a special gift to every mother here today, the 600 plus mothers. You will have 11 packs of diapers. She normally communicates with Robbie, and baby wipes. So make sure you pick that up, otherwise I would not have a joyful day. Today, as your government, this is our way of saying your joy matters. Your joy matters. Your child matters. And we are here to walk this journey with you. And not only walk this journey at the birth of your new child, but to walk this journey in the life of this child. The ministers spoke about the Because We Care grant. They spoke about the universal health vouchers. They spoke about the Spectacles program. All of these things are things that your parents, that is the mothers here, your parents did not have. But today, your child has that opportunity. Make the best use of it. And this is why the sacrifices of the past is very important. You know, many people come to celebrate the birth of the child. You have all kinds of different forms of celebrating the birth of the child. But many times, we don't evaluate the journey to motherhood. The journey to motherhood is separate and apart from the birth of a child. The journey to motherhood is one of sacrifice. One of sacrifice. Many professionals today postpone the bringing into the world of a new baby because of the sacrifice that is required, and they don't believe that they're ready to make that sacrifice in their professional career. So the journey to motherhood is one that must be respected, it must be honored, it must be treasured, it must be celebrated, because it comes with sacrifice, it comes with commitment, it comes with selfless love. It is a divine blessing from way above. It is a representation of spirituality. The journey to motherhood is the most beautiful journey that cannot be explained, and we must honor mothers and women who go this journey, who walk this journey. An extraordinary journey. So today, it might be simple. We celebrate the babies, we hold the babies, we play with the babies, we have extreme joy with the babies, and as Minister Vindy say, we get up in the night anxious. Is the only song that you are happy to wake up to, that would not, annoy you, that you're jumping out of your best sleep. Hopefully it doesn't annoy you. But I say it doesn't annoy me. I jump out of my sleep. So but that song came from a journey. And many times, we forget that journey that our mothers go through. And that is why, in knowing the importance of this journey, your government, this People's Progressive Party civic government, is investing in building facilities that will support the entirety of that journey. New medical facilities, new pharmaceutical facilities, bringing in the best equipment and best machines to support mothers from the time you start this journey. Giving you specialized equipment, specialized doctors, specialized care, a specialized children and maternal hospital, not a delivery hospital, a maternal hospital. A maternal hospital has all the facilities that will support you through this journey. And all of the facilities that Dr. Anthony spoke to you about are facilities that will support you through this journey. And I have another announcement to make to you. I'm told that the GRO, they are here, and they have all the birth certificates here ready for these babies, those applications that were here. So you'll get a number of services you'll get today. So you'll get a number of service here that you would have had to spend some days going after, okay? So we're trying to make it easy for you, as our pastor said. We pray that all processes be made easy. The Lord always preempts us. That's the beauty of spirituality. Sometimes we don't know what we are asking for that is already planned. All right? So this journey is being supported by your government. This journey of motherhood, this significant journey, is being supported. A journey of compassion, sacrifice, a journey of care. But the new opportunity, successive generation must also have new opportunities. Just imagine the new Guyana these children are coming into. Many of you and your parents, I remember my parents, my grandparents, when I would go to leg one, my grandmother will wake up at, depending on the tide, sometime at 3 in the morning. She would strap her grandchildren with her, and they'll walk the banks of the river to pick up wood, to cook with. The grandchildren will go with them and they'll pick up wood to cook with. I remember my mother will wake up at 3 every morning, and she will make lunch, she'll prepare our food, and then she will go to school, then she'll go to university, then she'll come back, my father will make dinner, and the story goes on. And then, in the midst of all of that, you had to go miles away to ensure you get enough water to last the day, and the routine goes around. All of us went through that. All of your parents, if you didn't go through, your parents would have gone through that. But today, these children are coming into a new world, into a new Guyana, when in the next 2 years you will have treated water coming through every single tap. You can drink it. You will have free education at every level. You'll have the best health care. You'll have roads, streets. You'll have opportunities. But with that, you can easily lose the values that hold us together as a nation. So that too, as fulfilling as it is, bring with it its own challenges. Bring with it its own challenges. So we have to navigate these challenges. So my dear friends, so let us dare to imagine a nation where every stroller push, every tiny hand held, and every first step taken is met with the certainty of support. Let us be the generation remembered, not only for what we built in steel and stone, but for what we built in the hearts and minds of people. Years from now, when today's newborns stand where we stand, when today's newborns stand where we stand, let them say, they believed in us. They believed in us before we could speak. They fought for us before we could walk. They gave us not just a gift, but a foundation. Let that be the story they will tell of us from where we stand and sit today. And that will be the greatest recording in the history of our own sacrifice and our own work for these, our beautiful babies and children of the future. To the nurses, doctors, medical technicians, medical practitioners, caregivers, mothers, grandparents, to all of you, we honor you. We honor you for your selfless work. We honor you for your love. We honor you for your profession. And we honor you for helping in this process of the journey to motherhood. Today, my dear women of our country, I am pleased to say to you today that you are that guiding light. You are that foundation of our nation. You are that solid rock on which our nation stands today. Women. And I will tell you, I want to share some important statistics today to you that will show you in our country, men, that our women in this country are bearing the weight of responsibility, and they are holding the foundation of the rock on which this beautiful country is built on. And it did not happen by accident. It happened through the investment, the support, and also the policies and programs that we have pursued. In the last 4 years, for example, directly and indirectly, we've invested more than $156 billion to uplift women's lives in our country. And that deserves a resounding round of applause. Not just the $40 billion in the Because We Care grant, not just the $10 billion in textbooks or the $15.5 billion in the National School Feeding Program. I spoke about the journey. The $15.5 billion in the National School Feeding Program, or the $4.7 billion in the National School Grant Initiative, or the $134 million in the special education needs. We are now building 4 special needs schools across our country. And let me say this, we have committed that as we continue to grow the economy, as we continue beyond 2025, we know you, the mothers, are already thinking about how do I get back to work? How do I ensure that I have that balance that gives me back my professional life while I take the best care of my child? And as I said to you, as we grow beyond 2025, we will be supporting daycare facilities to support our professional women and support these children. We will be providing support to these daycare facilities. That is our commitment to the future. I'm not talking about the tens of millions of dollars we spend to train young girls. Minister Vindi will tell you how many women we're training. I'm not only talking about that, I am telling you about some things that are much larger as a result of these investments. Today, almost 60% of the hinterland scholarships are women, young girls of our country, more than 60%. And let me tell you, not only because we've invested more than $32 billion in University of Guyana education, but we are proud today that out of the more than just about 13,000, 14,000 graduates from the University of Guyana. Listen to this. In the last 4 years, out of the 14,000 graduates from the University of Guyana, almost 10,000 are women. 10,000 out of the 14,000. And listen to this. The future of our country. The future of our country resides in our teachers. We always say this, right? In the last 4 years, we have graduated about 4,600 teachers. Out of that 4,600 teachers, that we have graduated, that is 4,600 teachers we have graduated. Guess what? More than 4,000 are women. Let me go back that for you. 4,600 of our new teachers to take care of your children. Out of the 4,600, 4,000 are women. That tells you how deeply dependent our country is on the women of our country. We must protect them. We must seal them. We must show them compassion. We must embrace them. We must encircle them with love. We must lift them up. We must celebrate them. We must honor them, because women are taking the burden of our future on their shoulders, and they're making the sacrifices, and they're investing in the future of our country by delivering and creating in themselves vessels and assets of our nation. Let us not take this work of our women for granted. Let us not take it. We will be futureless. 4,600 of our new teachers, 4,000 are women. But as I said, this is because you have a conducive environment. The government has created an enabling environment that women from their homes can study. They can have access to online education, distance education. In the hinterland, you can study. My mother used to wake up in her days to go to University of Guyana at 3 in the morning and come back at 10 in the night with a minibus from Georgetown to Lenora, sometimes waiting for hours in the park for a bus to get her home. Today, mothers, you can do so online. It did not happen by accident, and we must live life of gratitude. You know, the older you get, the more profound things are on you. What is a life of gratitude? A life of gratitude is to be thankful for the things before you while worrying about the things that are ahead of you. Can you imagine how less stressful life will be? When you're thankful for the food that is in front of your plate than the food that is in a showcase or on Instagram. We have to start learning to live life of gratitude and to celebrate these things. And let me give you this piece of statistics that will shock you. In the last 4 years, many people believe that only men do technical education. We grew up in an environment where we thought technical institutes are only for the boys. When we thought the mechanic shop and the operators are only for boys. Isn't that true? If a girl said that she was going to become an operator, you had all kind of names for her. And if a boy said he's going to do home economics, you had all kind of names. I did home economics. I love making mango juice, and it paid out now. I can cook well. But listen to this. And women, you must celebrate this. In the last 4 years, we had 23,000 persons enrolled in technical institutes, technical education. Out of the 23,000, more than 10,000 were women. This was an unbelievable stat for me. And out of the gold graduates, about 9,000 gold graduates so far, 7,000 are women. And out of the about 35,000 CSEC graduates, more than 20,000 are women. These are the stats that tells the story of the role women are playing in our society. And as I said, it did not happen by accident. The government supported the education of more than 50,000 women at a cost of more than $30 billion in the last 4 years. These are the stories that are not told. This is how the government is working for you. More than 50,000 women education was supported by the government at a cost of more than $30 billion. And I launched a program in 2020 when I said that more than 35% of all the new agri-innovation business must be owned by women and young people. And there are some who laughed at it. Today, we have 222 females graduating from the Guyana School of Agriculture. "50% of the total graduates from the Guyana School of Agriculture are women today. And that is because we have been able to show them that you can do agriculture without going into the fields through technical education. And guess what? In the Agriculture Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, more than 65% of those new agribusinesses are owned and run by women. Let us celebrate women today. Let us celebrate women tomorrow. Let us honor the women of yesterday, and let us understand as a nation, as a people, that the women in our society are the bedrock of our society. The women in our society are the foundation on which this nation will stand and grow. And our duty as men is to protect that foundation, to nurture that foundation, and to safeguard that foundation. And if as men, we safeguard this foundation with dignity, honor, and we safeguard it with all our will and might, our country will be the shining star of all of the world, and we will all live that prosperous life I speak of. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I now invite Mrs. Sheena Collins, who delivered a healthy baby girl on January 29th, and she will be among the first recipients of this grant to share the vote of thanks. Ms. Collins, Mrs. Collins.
To His Excellency, Honorable Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, to all government ministers present, to all officials, staff, volunteers, beneficiaries, all attendees present here today, and if I did not mention your name, I do apologize, but I say good day to all of you. My name is Sheena Collins. And I have been married 18 years. This year would mark 18 years since I have been married. But I want you to help me to do something. The date in this year that marks that 18 years, I really can't remember. But if you promise not to tell my husband, we will continue to have a good marriage. So we can work together on this, right? But it's been 18 years since I've been married, and attempts to have a baby seemed like an impossible task for me. And it just went by, and we were just happy with life as it is. But it's so fortunate to happen that last year, I was able to deliver a beautiful baby girl in the month of February. And I was so happy and thankful for this miracle that had happened to us. And I was just out of the blues happy that thankful for this one miracle. So I was so shocked and surprised when I went for a doctor visit and they said, Miss Collins, you're pregnant again. So this year I delivered in January another beautiful baby girl. So in the space of a 1-year period, I have survived 2 C-sections, but I have had my 2 baby girls as rewards for those. Today, I stand here with the experience, but not just the old-time experience, which is valid, but a present experience of what it is to be pregnant, go through delivery, and have newborns in our current society. And while many are so excited to see the cute baby faces, and some might even come to say who resembles and what are the features, and some even predict the baby's personalities depending on their mannerisms at birth, the truth is, it is an enormous task to carry another human being. To have that human being grow in you, in me, and then not just to have that, but to have that human being mature into a productive member of not just your family, but the community at large and then society. That is an even bigger task. But today, as women, we can make it happen. Why? Because we have a built-in mechanism gene that pushes us to be overcomers so that we can achieve. While human beings are adaptable creatures, and in adopting, it might seem like the effortless response that we have to childbearing and child development is not so challenging, but the challenges are there. And it is us as overcomers, as women, who push forward and makes it seem effortless is what builds our future. Today, this crash grant of our newborns will contribute, and it will help with some of those challenges. It will help with some of the burdens, and it will create an atmosphere where joy and happiness can help us to welcome the new life, the new member into our family and into our nation. Today, I would like to say thank you on behalf of all the beneficiaries of this newborn cash grant. I would like to say thank you to His Excellency Honorable Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. We say thank you to all the organizations that worked to ensure that this support and initiative became a reality for us today. We say thank you to all the community leaders who put in their dedication with their time and their efforts to ensure the well-being of our future. We say thank you to all of the workers, the staff, the volunteers who are behind the scenes who don't normally get that recognition. We say thank you for organizing and putting structures in place for a smooth handover of the grant to all of the moms. To all who made this possible, we say thank you. Now, in closing, it is our prayer that we look forward to seeing more more wonderful, awesome initiatives like this manifest in our country, not just for who are present today, but for our entire nation at large, so our citizens can be in betterment. Again, I say thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Collins. So this brings us to the end of the program. We have, His Excellency will start the distribution of the first 20 of the cash grants, and I will call the names of the persons who will be receiving from His Excellency. Anna Paul, Kalasi Joseph, Azima Suku, Colette Francis, Alicia Kelman. I thought they were bringing, I'm sorry. This is Anna Paul, yes. Kalisi Joseph. Kelman, as I call you now, Arazia Krishna. Krishna? Hazrani Hansraj. Oh, she's here. She's here. Christine Raphael. Esther Sharon Lal Mendonza. Esther. This is Christine. Esther Mendonza. Okay. Bibi Rashid. Bibi Arshina Rashid. Just wait here, please. Eulani Tobin. Yeah. Miss Tobin. Eulalie Tobin. Diana Chung. Miss Chung, Tobin is not here. Miss Chung, Kiana Fecker. This is Diana Chung. Akina Fecker, sorry. Alandi Rose, there's Alandi Bennett, Rose or Bennett. Miss Tobin, Eulalie Tobin. Donique Crowell. Aliyah France. Donique Crowell. You're Crowell? Okay. Donnie Crowell. Aaliyah France. And Aaliyah Gill, you can start getting prepared to come up. Aaliyah Dean Douglas Gill. So we have Aaliyah France and Aaliyah Dean Douglas Gill. They're both here. Alicia Andrews. Alicia Andrews. And finally, Hemala Shadio. Alicia Andrews is there? Okay. Hemala, yes, Sadio. Alandi Bennett, yes. You go. Do you see them? Alandi Bennett or Alandi Rose. Yep. The final person, right? That's it. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The rest of us will receive our grants. It's a very smooth process downstairs. Everything is set aside for you. If anyone would like to explain what the process is. Okay. So we, of course, want to do a group picture with our Excellency. Okay. Okay. There's Alexi. We missed her? 3 more? Okay, 3 more. Alexi Pearl Charlie. Please come and receive your check from His Excellency. Alexi Pearl Charlie, you here? Okay, she's coming. And Alexi Pearl Charlie, you can start coming down as well. You're Charlie? Pearl Charlie? Okay, we'll go. This is Candace Maxine George. It's here. How many more? Candace Maxine George. Next one. You said? You can go to the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Amarina de Oliveira. And de Oliveira, she's on her way. And finally, Abiola Hassana. Amarina de Oliveira. Chitra Polchan, that's you? Okay, come down. Chitra Polchan. That's it, right? Matthews. Alexandra Paula Pauline. Alana Volda King. You can make your way down as well. And Alicia Matthews. Alicia Matthews is here. Matthews? Okay. Krishma Bihari. Bihari? Oh, I think they don't have Bihari. Okay, we have an official from the Ministry of Health who will explain to the rest of us the process in which you uplift your checks downstairs.
Good morning, everyone. So just for some announcement on the distribution of the checks. So the persons with first name A to H, I to L will remain in this room. First name M to R, the Eastern Wing, that's on the outside here. And first name S to Z, downstairs. We will guide you in the process. First name A to H, I to L right here, M to R just on the outside, and S to Z downstairs. Yes, and there are also the signs with the letters, so you will see those to be guided accordingly. Very well, or you can come to myself as well. Thank you. Yes, for the picture.
For those of you who need assistance with your birth certificates that you haven't uplifted as yet, downstairs in the courtyard, we have someone from the registry office there to assist you. Okay, so all of you who haven't had your birth certificates uplifted or would like to register any of that assistance, right there at the courtyard, there's an official for the registry there to help you.
Good day, colleagues. So I know some of you in the room that was from A to H would have already done registration. So I'm just going to call you here. You've already signed for your check. So just come forward here and you collect it from me, right? Fiona Norville. Fiona Norville. For the others, just remain seated. Is there a Fiona Norville? Baby Fazila Joseph. Baby Fazila Joseph. Norville? All right. Baby Fazila Joseph. All right, Ms. Joseph, you just go over there. Diane Boyer. Diane Boyer. Diane Boyer. Y'all could use the other side too, don't bank up. Diane Boyer. Come please. You can go straight over to the president and take a photo with you. Diane Boyer. Dacia Kato. Azmina Bibi Shaku Tulsiram. Tulsiram. Dacia Kato. Tulsiram. Come this way. Why are they banking up here? What's going on? What are they doing, a photo? They're doing a photo? Oh. Oh. You're Tulsiram? Alright. Is Asmina Bibi? Okay. Dacia Kato. Ebony Summer. Or Sumner. Ebony. You're Kato? Ebony Sumner. Alison Calvan. Alison Calvan. Alison Calvan. Which are you? Sumner. Alison Calvan. Calvan. Thompson. Alicia Thompson. Alicia Thompson. Grayson Primo. Calvan. Grayson Primo. Alright. After Grayson Primo is Dan Kumari Wilson. Dan Kumari Wilson. They already signed. So they just got collected. Primo. There you go. Wilson. Dan Kumari Wilson. Corinne Gaskin. Corinne Gaskin. After Corinne Gaskin is Dan Raji Rampasad. Wilson. Corinne Gaskin. After Gaskin is Dan Raji Rampasad. And I'm also calling for Alicia Thompson. Alicia Thompson. Corinne Gaskin, right? Alicia Thompson. Dan Raji Rampasad. Dan Raji Rampasad. Okay, Dan Raji. All right, there you go. Let's make sure the name is spelled correctly, right? Alini Simpson. Alini Simpson. Esther Kendall. Esther Kendall. Okay. You're Alini? All right. There you go. Just making sure it's spelled correctly, right? Miss Kendall? There you go. Aliyah Harris. Aliyah Harris. Aliyah Harris. After Aliyah Harris is Carlissa Hoyt. Carlissa Hoyt. Jones. I'm sure that. I'm sure. Just J? No, don't be outside. Don't be outside. Carlissa Hoyt. There you go. Just make sure the name is spelled correctly, right? Cassie Tixie. Cassie Tixie. Then there's a Cassie Hamilton. I pray forgiveness if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. Cassie Tixie and Cassie Hamilton. Tixie? All right. Let's just make sure that's right, okay? Yeah? Okay. Cassie Hamilton. After Cassie Hamilton is Alana De Souza. Alana De Souza. Hamilton. Let's make sure it's correct here. You're welcome. Alana De Souza. After Alana De Souza, we're going to have Candace Wills. Candace Wills. Clark. Clark. She got some MNOP from there. You got some MNOP. After Alana De Souza's Candace Wills. Candace Wills. Alana De Souza. Candace Wills. De Souza. Just make sure name's perfect, right? Candace Wills. Candace Wills, right? I think they can do. We're calling Kausila Devi and Shamlal Ganesh. You dropped your ID card. If you could just come to the podium, I'll return it to you. I'm repeating the names. Oh, you dropped your thing. I want it no more. What's your name, ma'am? What? Sorry? I call you? I call your name? Oh, it's your husband, I think, dropped the ID card. Oh. Kalisha Peters. Kalisha Peters, followed by Ciara Norville. Kalisha Peters, Ciara Norville. After Ciara Norville, Gwen Ann Alexander. Gwen Ann Alexander. No, hold on. It's not call your name only. You can sit in the meantime. Only if I call your name. If not, don't stand up because then you're going to wait. Okay. Kalisha Peters. Norville. There you go. You're welcome. Just make sure your name is spelled correctly, right? Gwen Ann Alexander. Gwen Ann Alexander. After Alexander, we're going to have Christine Deodas. Christine Deodas. Gwen Ann Alexander. No.